where I talk about politics and current affairs. I also got a side channel which is called Spiritual Echelons. Go to that channel if you're interested in things such as spirituality, religion, the metaphysical, UFOs, natural medicine, yoga, and all of those kinds of things. Now listen, I got to ask you, what is going on? There's going to be tomorrow morning, this is Friday morning, a lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse, you're going to see a blood red moon, a total lunar eclipse. Now, last month, there was 7 planets. This is back in February. We're starting to line up. Okay? So tell me, there's something that's going on up in the heavens there. And not only going up on in the heavens, there's something going on right now on Earth. Things are starting to change. A lot of lies. Yeah? A lot of lies that governments have told us in the past are starting to come into fruition. A lot of our political leaders and a lot of our technocrats who try to pull a wool over our eyes have now started to be revealed. The truth, as they said in the Bible, the truth shall set you free. No, the truth will not set you free. The truth will make you free. If you set something, yeah, like cement, it makes something set. How can something be then free if it's set? No, the truth shall make you free, not set you free. And right now, a lot of truths are starting to be revealed. We're moving out of the house of Pisces, and now we're moving into the house of Aquarius. For those people who understand the star systems and astrology will know what I'm talking about. For those new people on this channel who don't know anything about astrology and astronomy, this is a new time that we're moving into. You see, some people say that the world is ending. No, the world will never end. The world will never end. It's a change in time. And we're going through a new cycle, okay? The 24,000 year cycle is almost up. The 24,000 year cycle is almost up. And as we're coming out of that house of Pisces, the 2 fishes which represented Jesus, okay? We're now moving into the we're moving into Aquarius. We're moving into Aquarius. Now, let me read this out to you because this is quite fascinating stuff. All right. The new planetary alignment back in February, as I just said, right, where 7 planets start to line up. Now, these planets are as follows. The planets that are lining are Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, Mercury, okay, on the 28th of the 2nd, 2025. All right, but on the 28th of the 2nd, 2025, Mercury becomes visible because the other planets are starting to become visible, but Mercury, this is the last planet starting to become visible. Now, check this out. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus can all be available to see with clear skies, but not all can be seen with the naked eye. So you have to go out and get some kind of telescope, okay, to be able to see the stars. Sorry, the planets aligning. I keep saying stars, I mean to say planets. You better see the planets aligning. Yeah, 7 of them. And as I said, check it out tomorrow, the 14th of the 3rd, 2025. There's going to be a blood red moon, okay, moving between the sun and our planet. What's going on, people? I'm telling you, we're moving into a new time and a new age. You need to throw off the old coat and put on the new coat. If your bin is stinking and it's in your house, what do? You remove the rubbish and you take it out, okay? And then you bring in a fresh bin. It's the same thing that you've got to do in terms of your life. Forget the old ways. This is a time for change. You need to take the opportunity for this new change. And guess what else is going to be happening? There's going to be portholes starting to open up right from February going up through 2025. And March is quite a significant period. Let me read on. Best visibility will depend on your location. So it will depend on where you are on the planet. Yeah? Which country you're in. Whether you're in China, Australia, Africa, Jamaica, Cuba. It depends on where you are. You'll be able to see the visibility of these planets much more clearer. And it's best for you to go out where there's not so much light pollution. Go out into the country. Go out into the countryside where there's less light pollution, and you'll be able to see these planets much more clearly. Tokyo started to see the parade on the 22nd of February, according to Star Walk, a sky gazing app. Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, you need to have a telescope to be able to see these planets. Okay? It's the end of this illusion. It's the end of this illusion. We've been told so many lies in the past. Right? A lot of things that we think are factual, they're not actually factual. Okay? And there's a lot of people that's in the media. There's a lot of reporters that are starting to tell people a lot of truths about, say, things going on in the government, such as what happened in 2020 when a lot of people were forced to take this thing in their arm. Now, it's been found that this thing that people are taking, there were some companies that was making a hell of a lot of money from this. Yeah? A lot of companies, these technocratic companies, scientific institutions were making a lot of money from this. Look at what's going on in Hollywood right now. How people are coming out. They're talking about things such as rituals and seances and all that sort of thing that was going on in Hollywood. And it's still going on there now. How certain people, certain musicians, certain film stars have been talking about all these satanic rituals and all that sort of thing going on there. Okay? Look at the smart cities that they're starting to build around the globe. In the UK, where I am, there's about 11 different authorities that have signed up to this smart scheme. But people are starting to wake up to this now. Okay? Birmingham, London, Bristol, Manchester, Newcastle, Edinburgh, Cambridge, all of these local authorities in these different cities have signed up for this smart city, but people are starting to wake up. And there's a lot of people saying, no, don't want it. I don't want the smart city, okay? Because it will restrict my movements, restrict where I can travel to, where I can go. And 2020 kind of reminded a lot of people of these restrictions that were being put on us by government, okay? As to where we can go, as to what time we can go out. And we could only go out for, say, a couple of hours a day, unless you were working. So a lot of people worldwide were on lockdown. You couldn't travel. Now, some people said, like, with the smart city, they don't want to be accepting of it. So people now Many are starting to wake up. They're saying, no, I value my freedom much more than what these governments are trying to do. And these governments are being funded by some organization, WEF, World Economic Forum, and the UN, that is the United Nations. See, I have to be careful, just like a lot of other content creators who are trying to wake up the public, because guess what? Those people who are trying to push their narratives, the elite at the top, right? The higher uppers, they don't want this information getting out. So what do? They shadow ban your video. If they don't shadow ban your video, they'll call you some kind of conspiratorial nutcase. All these different ways of trying to character assassinate people who are trying to wake other people up. You see, if you live your life in fear, then you'll always be controlled by these people, the higher uppers, who want to push their narratives down onto you. Do you want to live your life according to how you want to live it, or do you want to follow their rules and their narratives? Look at in London, they've got the ULIS, which is an ultra low emission zone, and people have to pay a whole heap of money to be able to drive into the city. Do you really want that? This is part of a greater scheme, which is the smart cities, which is coming under different guises, different names. In some places, they call it livable neighborhoods, right? What else? Smart cities, 15-minute cities, livable neighborhoods. It's all the same guys. But people are slowly starting to wake up now to all of this bull crap. Let me read on, because I've digressed slightly here. Let me go back. All right, so we got these planets that's starting to line up. Okay, and now we got the blood red moon, which will be visible on the 14th of the 3rd, 2025. We're in the 3rd month of the year. 3. The number 3 is highly significant, right? We're in the 3rd month of the year. Now, let me tell you this also about the number 3. You had Jesus. When he was born, they say it was in December, there was 3 wise men. And these 3 wise men were following a star in the sky. And they wanted to try to get to Bethlehem, where Jesus was being born. If you check it out astrologically, they were following Venus, the star Venus, which is known as also the Virgin Star. Okay? Venus, the Virgin Star. And you had the 3 wise men. The 3 wise men were really the Orion belt, the 3 stars of that Orion belt. The number 3, again, highly significant. They said that Jesus Christ also died on the cross, according to some religious books, that Jesus died on the cross at age 33. And another thing as well, they say that Jesus, he was, never heard anything from Jesus from the age of 12. They never heard anything about Jesus Christ again until he got to the age of 33. See, there's 2 3s again. Highly significant. But what I'm trying to say about Jesus dying on a cross at the age of 33, right? 33 is a highly significant number because we have 33 vertebrates in our spine. Okay? That's the 2 3s again. And in the middle of our head, we have something in the middle of our brain, should I say. In the middle of our brain, we have something called the pineal gland, a little small gland, which is about the size of a pea, of a garden pea. This sits in the middle of the brain. Now, when that pineal gland is activated, right, you have something that's called melatonin. And this melatonin at nighttime floods the brain, okay? It floods the brain and that pineal gland, okay? So when you fall asleep, it's because of the melatonin, yeah? The melanin, which goes to the pineal gland. And it connects you spiritually when you're asleep to, it helps when you are falling asleep to connect you to the spiritual realm. So Jesus Christ, symbolically, when he died on that cross at age 33, it was almost like going to sleep. It's almost like going to sleep, going into that sleep mode. And then when he woke up, it's like a resurrection, right? It's like a resurrection. That pineal gland that sits in the middle of the brain, as I say, right, gets secreted with melanin. And that melanin connects us to the spiritual realm. When we fall asleep, it's almost like we're in a dead state. They say that sleep is supposed to be the cousin of death. That's the closest that we get to death, is when we're asleep. That pineal gland gets secreted with melanin. So, symbolically, Jesus dies at 33, and then he resurrects the other thing as well with the pineal gland. It also connects us to our higher self and to the Most High. So at age 33, Jesus got connected to the higher self, to the Most High. Now, some people are going to say, you are talking a load of bullshit, right? The Bible is full of a lot of astrological stories. A lot of astrological stories. We have 33 vertebrae in our spine, which connects the spine, okay, to the top of the brain. And then you have the pineal gland, which sits in the middle. Not only that, we have 7 chakras. These are wheels of light. They are energy centers which are on a body. When these line up, these 7 chakras, and they also line up with the pineal gland, and then we have another 2 energy centers which are above the brain. Let me show you this. Stay with me, because I know some of you, I'm probably totally losing you here, okay? Our bodies are made up of energy, okay? We are light beings. We're made up of energy, okay? Our body is made of electricity. Now, when we're in certain emotional states, we give off various different frequencies. Let me try and move this closer. We give off various different frequencies, okay? We give off different frequencies. So, at the bottom, we have something called shame, which only gives us a 20 hertz frequency. And then we go up and we have guilt, which carries a 30 hertz frequency. Hertz are measured in waves from peak to peak. Hertz are measured in waves from peak to peak. As I say, we got different levels of emotion which carries off different frequency and different energy. Move up to grief, which carries a frequency of 75 hertz. And then this one here, fear. Fear. And I say it again, fear carries 100 hertz frequency. This is a state which those higher up want to try and keep us in that state of fear. So through things like the news, they keep us in fear because they don't want us to reach our higher self. Okay? Just like Jesus reached his higher self when he became fully conscious of what was going on. It opened up that third eye, which then connected him to the Most High. When we go up to 175 hertz, we have pride. And then we go up again to 500 frequency, we have love. And that's a state that many of us should be on. But instead, we're down here on the third dimension, on a low level, fighting with each other, separated from each other, right? Because of what those higher up want us to do. They want to try and keep us separated. They want to try and keep us in fear. And it is for us to try and raise up our frequency and go up into that higher self, into the fourth dimension and then the fifth dimension. Love is one thing that we should be trying to show each other. Love over fear. Love over hate. Now, enlightenment carries 700 hertz frequency. Can you see this? It carries a 700 hertz frequency. 700 hertz frequency. How do you get up to enlightenment? As I say, when the chakras start to line up, and you have 7 of them, when they start to line up and your pineal gland starts to open up, it connects you to the Most High. It connects you to the universe and to the stars. And right now, we have 7 planets that are starting to line up. And as I say again, these planets are Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, and Mercury. We have to get in line with these planets. We have to try and get in line with these planets. If we don't, it's going to be to our demise, because those people are trying to control us through their governments and through their laws. This is their narratives that they're trying to get us to follow, instead of us trying to get to our higher self. They want to try and keep us down on this lower dimensional frequency, on this third dimension. You see, governments, they're owned by these higher uppers. They're owned by these higher uppers through their economic institutions. Let me tell you this now. Seriously, we need to try and wake up, and we need to try and come together as a community. Right now, things are starting to change, and the planets are trying to show us the way, and we need to try and align ourselves with the planets. We need to try and align ourselves with our higher self and move amongst like-minded people. 3 is a highly significant number, as I was saying. And it's funny that even with Freemasons, 33, which is 2 3s together, when you become a supreme Mason, right? On that 33, it means that you have more knowledge than everyone else. You've reached the highest point. Anyway, this is Eldad Amara with another video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Try to start getting together with people of like minds, okay? Because your governments aren't doing nothing for you except for governing your mental. And those governments, they are controlled by other people, by our uppers who pull their strings. And these governments are nothing but puppets. And they're governing your mental. Every 5 years, new government comes in. And you think that things are going to change. And do they really? No, they don't. Because the people that's pulling their strings are much higher up. And also there's a hidden power also behind them again that you don't see. The only change is really going to come from you. You have to change in order for things to change. Mahatma Gandhi said, you have got to be the change that you want to see in the world. Don't leave it up to anyone else. It's for you to make the change within yourself. Because when you start the change and people see it, you'll have a cascading effect and they will probably change too. Okay? Move amongst like-minded people. Form your own community groups. This is Eldad Amara with another video over and out. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you.